People don't just attack what they dislike. They attack what unsettles them, what threatens their identity, what exposes deep resistance inside them that they're not ready to face. And once you understand that human behaviour, everything starts making a lot more sense. Because most attacks are not actually about being attacked. They're about fear. Fear of change, fear of irrelevance, of losing control, fear of being left behind, fear of not understanding the world anymore. And right now, we're living in a time where people are being psychologically exposed everywhere you look. You see it in relationships, you see it online, you see it in politics, and you absolutely see it with AI. Because AI isn't just technology, it's a mirror. It's forcing people to confront how fast the world is changing, and many people psychologically cannot cope with that speed. Now, this isn't a video about whether AI is good or bad. That's far too simplistic. This is about human behaviour, because humans have always feared evolution while it's happening. People feared electricity, people feared cars, people feared the internet, people feared online banking and still do, and people feared mobile phones. And now those same things are woven so deeply into life, people panic if they lose Wi-Fi for 20 minutes. But during that transition period, people attack them relentlessly. Why? Because change destabilizes identity. And identity is one of the strongest psychological addictions human beings have. People don't just become attached to people, they become attached to routines, beliefs, pain, suffering, emotional patterns, familiar environments, even when those things hurt them. That's why some people stay in toxic relationships for years. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because familiar pain feels psychologically safer than unfamiliar freedom. The human brain loves certainty more than it loves happiness. And that's where this gets deeper. Because when people encounter something new, especially something powerful, it often activates unconscious insecurity. If someone secretly fears they're falling behind, they may mock progress. If someone fears they're not mentally smart enough, they may attack intelligence, and do. And if someone fears emotional vulnerability, they may ridicule people who are emotionally open. And if someone fears change, they often attack the people embracing it. Not because those people are wrong, but because they represent forward movement. And forward movement forces reflection. Now, let's be honest here. Sometimes people attack things because there are genuine concerns. That's healthy, but there's a difference between questioning something and emotionally reacting to it. One comes from awareness, the other comes from fear. And social media has amplified this massively because people now build entire identities around opposition. They don't know who they are without fighting something. So attacking becomes emotional regulation. You can actually see this everywhere online. Someone changes their life, people attack it. Someone becomes successful, people attack that. Someone loses weight, people definitely attack that. And someone heals emotionally, people attack that too. Someone embraces new technology, oh, definitely people attack that. Not always because the thing is wrong, but because it activates discomfort in others. It amplifies what they are not doing. Because growth is confronting. It forces people to question themselves, and many people would rather attack the mirror than face what the mirror reveals. Now, this also happens in relationships constantly. Someone wants healthier communication. Their partner calls them too sensitive. Someone sets boundaries. They're called selfish. And someone who evolves emotionally, the people around them suddenly become uncomfortable because growth changes dynamics. And not everybody benefits from your evolution. That's a hard truth people don't talk about enough. Sometimes the people attacking you are actually terrified of losing the version of you they felt uncomfortable controlling. And this is why emotionally aware people often feel isolated during periods of growth. Because once you begin changing, you unintentionally expose stagnation in other people. And some people respond to that inspiration. Others respond with hostility. Now, this doesn't mean you become arrogant or think you're superior. That's not what I'm saying. This is about understanding psychology without taking everything personally. Because once you understand that many reactions are projections of internal fear, you stop emotionally collapsing every time somebody disapproves of you. You begin seeing behaviour differently. You realise criticism is sometimes insecurity, anger is sometimes fear, mockery is sometimes intimidation, and avoidance is sometimes emotional weakness. And suddenly the world becomes easier to navigate. Now, here's the interesting part. The people who adapt to change are usually not the people with the highest intelligence. They're the people with the psychological flexibility. The people willing to say, I don't fully understand this yet, but I'm open. That openness changes everything because evolution rewards adaptation, not rigidity. And this applies emotionally too. The people who heal are not always the strongest people. They're often people willing to face the uncomfortable truths about themselves. The people willing to evolve beyond old identities. The people willing to stop blaming the world for everything. That takes courage, real courage. Much more courage than sitting online attacking things you secretly fear. And maybe that's the deeper lesson here. When something triggers you strongly, instead of immediately attacking it, just pause and ask yourself, what exactly is this activating in me? Because sometimes the strongest emotional reactions reveal the deepest unconscious fears. And the things we resist most intensely are sometimes the exact things we need to understand. Not because everything new is good, but because fear alone is a terrible guide for the future. And right now, humanity is standing in one of the biggest periods of psychological change it's ever experienced. Some people will evolve with it, some will fight it, and some will hide from it. But the people who grow will be the people willing to look honestly at themselves while the world changes around them. Because in the end, people rarely attack what they truly understand. They attack what stabilizes the identity they've built around feeling safe.